Yes, sir.
Okay. All righty. It is 4:30 PM. I'll go ahead and call this meeting to order. And we'll begin with a quick roll call. Mr. Burton?
Here.
Mr. Freshour? Dr. Miller?
Here.
Mr. Chapman?
Here.
Dr. Manning?
Here.
Okay, we have a quorum. We'll go to the Pledge of Allegiance. Everybody will stand. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right. Lisa, do we have any delegation? No delegation at this time. So your first item of business is to conduct the public hearing on the proposed 2026-2027 calendar, and I'll turn it over to Dr. Manning.
So I gave you a couple attachments there, 3 different attachments, and 2 different calendars. So this calendar that we're proposing, very similar to the one we've used the past couple years. Our staff seem to be pretty happy with it. It's the same start date with staff of 8/10 and students 8/13, same as Calhoun County Schools. So we can try to match up. We try to match up as close as we can to the Career Center. It has a traditional Thanksgiving, 1 week at Thanksgiving. I don't think we want to take deer season away from folks. That's a pretty important week. It does have a 2-week break at Christmas, just like we did this year, and I think the teachers very much appreciated that. It has a 1 week at spring break, and all of those are kind of guaranteed O days. Those are guaranteed. We're going to, doesn't matter if you had the 16 snow days like we had this year. Those are all guaranteed breaks that our students and staff can receive to go on holiday, to get refreshment and so on. The last day for students would be the same as Calhoun. It's 5/27. And the only difference in ours right now with this proposed calendar is we have 3 different PL days. And that does lead to a hardship with the Career Center to have 3 different PL days. A couple years ago, we changed from Friday PL days to Wednesday PL days to get more staff participation, but it comes with caveats. It has the days don't align for the Career Center, so that's 3 days. And it also affects preschool. That's 3 extra days that our pre-K has to go. And it's a little bit more of a hardship to find coverage for our parents on Wednesdays compared to Fridays. So, but other than that, that's the proposal. The only thing I see that's a major difference are those PL days. And it's a lot similar to what we had this year with the OS day. If we continue to have bad winters like we had, I think 14 days off last year and 16 days off this year, we have put an OS day there on Super Bowl Monday again. We've not successfully got that yet, but we're trying it again. On a winter that we wouldn't have so many snow days, we might be able to get Super Bowl Monday off, but hasn't worked the last couple years, and but I'm hopeful for next year. I think it's a good calendar. If you look, there's 3 professional meeting days they're scheduled, and one of those is the day that after holiday break, and that would be an in lieu of day for our staff. That would be our plan like we did this year, where they would have their online trainings that they would need to submit to us by a certain date in December, and they would receive an in lieu of day that day. Anybody that didn't have their work done would have to come in and work on it that day. I'm trying to think of anything else that you might have a question about.
When's Calhoun's PL days?
So on that draft right there, if you look at Calhoun's PL days, they have almost in the same week as us. They have a PL day, except they do theirs on Fridays and we do ours on Wednesday.
That means if the Career Center is off on Fridays, that means we're housing our kids here.
Or vice versa, depending on what the Career Center does. They're housing theirs or we're housing ours. It's 3 days difference.
We probably would, I think we'd be better served if that part of it matched up, because that way we're just not, I hate to say babysitting, but that's basically what we're doing. We're missing a day of instruction there. Because if I go, Mr. Moore can speak to that better than me, but what are you gonna do when you got half your kids? Now when they finally all show, you're backing up. That's the loss of instructional time. I think we'd be better off to go.
There's nothing that stops us from doing that. And, we've made that change just because we got a little bit better staff participation to our professional learning. But if that's a change that you guys want to make, that is absolutely fine. We can have Mr. Frazier put together. Actually, I think it would be almost the exact same thing other than as Calhoun, except they have their OS days. We put our OS days in P day and TP day at the end of the year. We put that P day and TP day at the beginning. They got them kind of split. So they take 2 days off. Does that make sense? And then they would have to come back for 2 more days at the end of that week to finalize. We have traditionally ran where we do the P day and TP day, and then the OS days are at the very end, with the understanding that we would convert like 6-1 to an OS day if we use that many. Now, we didn't have to use that many this year, and
So how many more staff came on a Wednesday versus a Friday? I mean, do we have
I
a
don't have
number
those
to-
numbers, but there's more staff participation on Wednesdays, isn't there?
They just take sick leave days, because only a certain percentage can get it.
They have to take sick leave days, yes.
But I mean, that's what I'm saying.
Or no cause days, not sick days. They'd have to take a no cause day.
But there's only a certain percentage of them that do that. Then the rest of them either have to say they were sick or.
With our new attendance policy, that is correct. There is only a certain amount of staff that would be allowed to do that.
What do you think, Ms. West? Do you have any input?
Well, for professional learning, it would be nice to have the majority of staff. But for instructional purposes, it would help our career center if our days align.
I think we have to just pick which bat we think's better to go back with.
And we don't have to make any decision tonight. This is just a hearing. We're just having discussions about it, and we can make any changes that we want to it. The only other advantage to having the PL days on Fridays is we've had to extend the last couple of years of pre-K because we have to require 128 days. That's one of the hardships with not having them on Fridays, because they don't actually they're not missing that day they're missing an extra day of instruction when we have them on Wednesday. And the only other hardship is it harder to get coverage for kids on Wednesday for parents? It's kind of a odd day to be,
I don't think that's easy anytime. So.
it's not easy anytime. So that's the calendar. If you got any recommendations, I can go back and change things and so on and so forth. But
Any recommendations at this time?
If we don't make one, then we come back next time and we have time to ponder.
Anytime between now and then, if you got a recommendation that you'd like to have me put something in draft form so you can have it to vote on, I can do that too. I mean, that's fine. I can bring one back next time with the PL days on Fridays if you'd rather. And then you can look at the two different ones.
You're giving me two pros on moving them to back to Fridays and one con. So that's where I'm
Yeah.
standing right now. So it aligns with the Career Center. It's
does.
easier for parents theoretically. The con is you get a little bit better
The
person.
pros also preschool, because they have to make
And
up days.
that's
Preschool would not have to make up as many days.
And then you've got one con, which is maybe we don't get as good at participation, which, you know, I would say teachers should take advantage and
Beat them.
participate in what's offered. But
Yeah, that sounds good to me.
I will recommend we move it to Fridays.
So what I'll do is I'll create another draft
Okay.
and provide two drafts. If you guys want to make a motion to provide a draft with the PL days on Fridays, I'll have that done.
Motion, I'll
Second.
Okay, it's been properly moved and seconded to move the PL days to Friday and to have Dr. Minnie bring us back that draft copy at the next public calendar hearing meeting. Is there any further discussion or amendments to that main motion? Hearing none, all in favor, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. All right, do I have a motion to recess until 5 PM?
So moved.
All right, is there a second?
Second.
All right, it's been properly moved and seconded to recess until 5 PM. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. All right, Brett, do you want me to call you back or do you? Sounds good.
Yeah.
Okay, so I need a motion to reconvene.
I make a motion to reconvene for the regular meeting.
Okay, is there a second?
Second.
All right, it's been properly moved and seconded to reconvene for the regular meeting. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Any abstention? Motion carries. All right, that'll bring us to reports, and we'll begin with Science and Social Studies Fair winners. Dr. Minnie.
With great pleasure, we're going to recognize all of our social studies, West Virginia All-State Children's Choir, West Virginia All-State Band, and with Miss West's assistance, I'll go and try to hand all these out. And if we would probably we got several of them, right, Mrs. West? Can we probably need to take an individual picture? Because everybody likes to take an individual picture, and then we'll get all the winners up at the end, and the board can stand up, and we'll take a picture to put in the newspaper.
Okay, so Social Studies Fair, we had several group projects that won. And so we had a group who created and presented an economics project. And these students placed first for their economics project. Tommy Joe Chesser, if Tommy Joe will come up. Inslee Smith, if Inslee would come up.
And you guys come over here.
Audrey Ratliff. Right there, yeah. And then we'll get individual pictures. And then Reagan Wakeoff for economics. Congratulations.
Good job, guys.
Well done.
You're all right. Just smile.
Yeah, absolutely.
No rapid use.
Was that good? Yeah. Oh, okay. All right,
Okay.
give me a round of applause.
Political science, we had another group of students who placed first. Chase Chapman, Adrian Stoller, Beckett Grog, and Kenton Minnie. Yes, congratulations. Very good. Thank
Good
you.
job.
And another group, our third group who placed first with a U.S. history project, we have Reagan Hartshorn, Ryan Hartshorn, Michelle Dennison, and Journey Miller Roberts. And I don't think that group is here this evening, but I know there's a lot of ball practices and there's lots of things going on. So we will certainly get certificates to them at the elementary school. But these students, first place social studies, they will now advance to regional competition at the Waco Center on April the 7th. So we will see you all at the Waco. Then we have our West Virginia All-State Children's Choir. I believe we have 3 students who participated in this event. Presley Darby, come on up. Brennan McIntyre. And Willow Shackelford. Good job. And then recognizing from the high school level, we have a West Virginia All-State Band, Morelli Madrano.
I'm not, I like to hear her play.
Okay, now, did you want a group picture with all the board members?
A group picture of all, I think we have, do you want a group picture? How do you want to put those on?
However,
Would you rather
it's
have?
easier for me to run one picture than it is multiple pictures. So if we can have like a group of everybody, and then if you send me the name.
We'll try to arrange all the students.
So why don't we have our social studies fair kiddos come up first? Bring your certificate. Board members will stand behind.
You're so good.
And then if our choir, if they will come up.
Just slide this down a little bit.
Okay. You want to stand and Morelli, and then we also have Miss Leggett and Mrs. Buckley.
I'll go on this.
Our music teachers want to be in this picture?
Oh, come on.
Behind you.
Oh, you're behind me. No wonder I couldn't find you. Oh, they're fine.
Thanks for your love.
I'm trying to smile every day.
And let's give one more round of applause. Very good. Thank you.
All righty, if you guys need to leave, you're more than welcome. That'll conclude the reports and
I don't know why you always
recognition
give
section.
people the option.
But you're more than welcome to stay if you'd like.
It's so fun. You should stay.
We'll be here.
Let me try that.
Please explain to me how. I have no idea.
All of those days mean something in the calendar. And usually the white days are the days that are instructional. All the other ones are,
The months kind of run together.
Horizontal.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
okay.
So like you start at the top and then.
Okay, I couldn't get Brett, so he's just going this. Okay, so that'll take us out of reports and we'll move into the consent agenda. Start with the minutes.
I wasn't there, so you guys have to do it.
I make a motion to approve the minutes of the March 9th, 2026 as presented.
Second.
Okay, it's been properly moved and seconded to approve the minutes of the regular meeting of March 9th, 2026 as presented. Is there any further discussion or amendments to that main motion? Hearing none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstention?
I abstain.
Okay, motion carries. All right, we'll now move on to the bills for payment. And I do believe Ginger is on the phone.
yes, she is on the phone.
Yep, Ginger, go right ahead.
Hi, guys.
Hello.
Sorry I can't be with you in person tonight. I just reviewed them again, and I don't see anything that jumps out. There was nothing unusual, but did anyone have any questions about the bills?
No.
I don't know.
No.
So do I have a motion to approve the bills as presented?
I make a motion to approve the bills as presented.
Second.
Okay, it's been properly moved and seconded to approve the bills as presented. Is there any further discussion or amendments to that main motion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstention? Motion carries. All righty. Where are we at? There it goes. So we'll move to new business and we have approval of the schedule of proposed levy rates. Ginger, I believe, yes, is your item too.
Yes, this is the start of the budget process for the 2027 fiscal year. I think all of you've been through this process now. It's a little unusual, but the assessor gives us a certificate evaluation, which I had Lisa upload for you today, because I forgot to include that with the original packet. Then those numbers get plugged into a spreadsheet that is provided to us from school finance at the state. Then that gives us our total levy to be raised under both our general current and our excess levy. Then we put all of that on the form that they give us, and you guys approve the proposed rates. Then those go to the school finance office, they go to the auditor's office, and they also go to the newspaper. And then once everyone has looked at them, the auditor's office will send us back a letter approving our rates, and then we'll come back to you with an actual, they call it a levy order and rate sheet that actually lays the levy, and that'll be at that April meeting we have down at the Career Center.
Okay. Any questions or concerns for Ginger? Okay. Hearing none, Dr. Minnie, do you have a recommendation?
I recommend making a motion to approve the schedule of proposed levy rates in accordance with the West Virginia Department of Education 11-2036 to the state auditor and the State Board of Education, and publish the schedule of proposed levy rates as a Class 2O legal advertisement in compliance with the provision of WVC 59.3-1.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, it's been properly moved and seconded to accept the superintendent's recommendation to approve the schedule of proposed levy rates in accordance with the West Virginia Department of Education 11-2036 to the state auditor and to the State Board of Education, and publish the schedule of proposed levy rates as a Class 2 zero legal advertisement in compliance with the provisions of West Virginia Code 59-3-1. Is there any further discussion or amendments to that main motion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Any abstention? Motion carries. All right. Number 2, discussion or possible action of community use of the weight room. Dr. Minnie.
Put this on the agenda. There's several outside organizations that would like to have access to our new weight training facility, and was asked to be put on the agenda at the last meeting. Several different folks right now in the community have asked, and there is lots of different folks that have concerns about liability and things like that. So it's up for discussion, possible action, what you guys desire that to be. I think in our committee, when we first originally started, we wanted to keep it limited to student use. We've already increased that to staff usage. So our staff do have a chance to participate. It's really going to have to be up to you guys and what you want to see. How our community would impact. I will say this, there's not much time for community usage. By the time we have our students in there from 6 to 8, and we do have people working out, our students in there in the morning times, we've had classes come out there during the day, and by the time evening rolls around, from probably 3:45 or 4 o'clock clear to 7 or 8 o'clock, we've had students in there. So it's really up to you all what kind of usage.
Yeah, this was more of a Brett's thing.
It was.
So I kind of wanted to hear his perspective on it.
Yeah, I'm trying to call him. I can't get him.
Maybe
We'll see if I can get it.
we could always just table it for next.
Well, I mean, Brett called me today and told me that he was just absolutely thought that we should not allow any community in. He said it was for the students and for the staff. I mean, I kind of agree with that, not trying to, say that, they've done anything wrong, but, there's not enough time for really them to get in there. It's booked by this team and then this team, and I mean, it closes at 10. So I would agree with Mr. Chapman and say that we let no community in the weight room, but that's just my opinion at this time.
And I would say that if they want to use the facility, the old one is still up there. I know that the weight room here used to be down in where the girls varsity teams dress now. And that existed from 1990 until 2012, basically, when they needed more space. Dr. Minnie took it down to where it was located there below the building. And if you look at what's there now versus what he took down there, there's a great disparity between the equipment and its condition it's in. Like he said, we were here this morning at 15 till 6 with 22 kids. And we lift 2 to 3 days a week. We lift in the evenings. We don't get done with practice till 7. So we're not out of here till 9 o'clock. And if we bust
Okay, let me put you on speaker.
And if we bust the PE kids out here like we were talking, and all athletic programs are kind of mandated to be in it, like Dr. Minnie said, there's no time. And I don't think we want, and it was built for the kids to start with, and they are making use of it, which is what we wanted. So like I said, if the other organizations want to use the old weight room, so to speak, more than willing to let them do that. But this one is for our athletes, and they are making use of it, which is what we wanted. And don't want to take any time away from them.
So Cody has spoken and Mr. Barton has spoken, and they're not in favor of opening the weight room to the community. Do you have anything that you'd like to add?
No, I am in total agreement with Mr. Barton as far as, I'm okay with them using the old facility or even donating that equipment to maybe a certain group that is more interested than another. But no, I'm in total agreement with both of them then.
And I did ask because the funding for this facility came out of the general fund. It did not come out of levy money, which that was a question that I had asked to determine where the money came from that funded it.
Yes.
So with that being said, and knowing that most everybody is in agreement, I would make a recommendation so we don't get inundated, to let the community know it's for our students. I would make a recommendation for you all to make a motion that outlined that there will be no community usage. Only Gilmer County High School students and staff would be allowed to use the new weight facility.
So moved.
Okay, there's a motion.
Mr. Barton just made a motion to not allow the community. Would you like to second that?
I'm second that.
Okay, there's a second. It's been properly moved and seconded to not allow the community to use the new weight room facility. Is there any further discussion or amendments to that main motion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
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 Any opposed?
Yeah, on it.
What'd you say, Mr. Chapman?
Did you vote aye? You there? Can you hear me now? Okay, they made a motion to not allow the community. Mr. Barton made the motion, you seconded it, and we're now voting. Are you voting aye?
Aye, yes, aye.
Okay. All right, sounds like we're in full agreement. All in motion carries, and we'll move on to the next item. Thank you, Mr. Chapman.
Thank you.
All righty, we'll move on to discussion or possible action of the Gilmer County Schools NTID plan. Dr. Minnie.
The non-traditional instructional day plan is ready for board approval. We surveyed teachers. We revised the plan so that the NTID day assignments can only count as bonus credit for students, mainly for students that are out there in areas that can't be penalized if they didn't have internet and things like that. Without these days, if we did not do the NTID day plan, we would be going deeply in June this year. So with all of that, we've utilized these NTID days for many years. I would make the recommendation that you guys make a motion to approve the Gilmer County Schools 2026-2027 MTID Day Plan.
I'd just like to make a comment, and that being that personally, I found it difficult to print some of it. And especially like when we're out for snow days, which a lot of times people lose power and electric, that it would be useful to have that printed, which we used to do that. But this last year, maybe two, I'm not sure, we've had to either try to complete them online or, print them out ourselves and do them. And that is not very easy for parents.
Right.
So I don't know what the completion rate is. And I don't know if we could increase that by providing a paper copy of that. So I'll make a motion to approve the plan.
Okay, is there a second?
Second.
All right, it's been properly moved and seconded to accept superintendent's recommendation to approve the Gilmer County Schools 2026-2027 NTID plan. Is there any further discussion or amendments to that main motion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstention? Motion carries.
I have a question about that.
Yeah.
Can I ask a question?
Go ahead.
There were surveys that went home. at
Yes.
least With one kid. I don't know who the other one. Are those looked at? Are they? Is that,
Yes.
like, in general, is that something that parents want?
That's taken into account. Yeah,
Okay.
right
I
here.
do. I just didn't know.
It says,
Yeah.
were the majority of parents consulted about this plan? Yes. And they were in favor of this plan? Yes.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yep,
Mhm.
you're welcome. All right, number 4, discussion or possible action on elementary basketball policy update. Dr. Minnie.
In recent years, there has been ongoing discussion about elementary basketball, the basketball policy, what is best for our small district with limited numbers, how we can improve our current practices to better support student athletes and prepare them for competition in middle and high school. Many ideas have been proposed, all of which could influence our existing policy. Our goal was to create a skill-based program that keeps our kids highly competitive, with the greatest number of students engaged through middle and high school. I think that, talking with our high school folks, I think that there's several of them that have seen low numbers, and we're trying to figure out a way to keep some of these programs. We had the last 3 years, we've had a state competitive basketball team. I think we have 10 players or something like that. How we solve those problems are going to need some attention. And I've thought about this a lot, about how we could do that and how we could make some changes to that policy that we might include more athletes and get more kids participating and change our policy, all which is going to take several meetings. So I put together a recommendation. I'll let you guys discuss that, but I recommend you guys making a motion to allow the superintendent to form an ad hoc committee of local experts to develop a proposal and policy change for the board's consideration to strengthen the Gilmer County Schools youth basketball program. This committee would consist of the superintendent, school principals, Gilmer County Schools athletic director, middle and high school coaches, Board of Education members, a representative from Glenville State University, and would be an ad hoc. We could add members. We're just trying to find some local experts to help us come up with an idea on how to get more youth participation, which would carry our kids through middle school and then increase our athletic competition at high school. So I leave it up to you guys to discuss, and then what you can go with that idea. Or maybe you got a better one to come up with on your own, but there needs to be some experts that know a lot more about youth basketball than what I do. and we need to sit around and really plug ideas and see how one thing will affect another when we make decisions. And it's probably going to take some committee work to do that. So.
I think the only comment I had there, the group that maybe, you might add just as an opinion is there's probably some elementary basketball coaches out there now and previous coaches that done well with that program.
Sure.
That
Well,
may want, just an opinion or a say in one of those meetings that you may just add that group because, I see the representation from GSU point as they go on, but being elementary to that's a long timeline. So, I don't know if we necessarily need a lot of input there versus somebody who's, been there, done it, and, has moved on or is currently coaching it like Mr. Chapman.
well, one of the goals and the reason why I included GSU is maybe we could implement camps
Okay.
and have some of those college athletes help. One of the things that some of the ideas that were floated, current coaches, of course, they're going to be a part of this. The hard part is a lot of the current coaches are parents and they're there for a year or two and then they move on.
Sure.
But we'll include our current coaches. But the reason for GSU, not that they're going to make some type of decision, but I thought if we could somehow offer basketball camps for our youth, maybe they're not even playing competitive sports, but would like to participate in basketball camps, learn to play basketball. Maybe their help could, maybe they could help us get that figured out and scheduled and offer that for our students.
I come from an area where I retired from that academically and athletically compete at a very, very, very high level. And athletically, in basketball particularly, high school coaches dealt with the middle school and the elementary school and below it. Skills, like Dr. Minnie said, in the summertime, my coaches offered camps where skills were taught. And a lot of times our athletes were helping do that, which also they learned, like teaching a class. You learn a whole lot more when you do it than when you're practicing yourself. And our numbers, you have sixth graders trying to compete with seventh and eighth graders, and just age wise, you got to be, I'd say it like this, but you got to be a real stud muffin to make the cut. And if not, now your ego is already shattered. I got cut once. You're not going to slap me in the face twice. I'm not going to give you the chance. So, and once a bad habit is created, it's almost impossible to correct. You can do it, but it's very difficult. And I think that, at that level, they needs to be skill-based where they're learning the skills. I mean, look at our kids, when, I hate to say it like this too, but when there were five junior highs, look at the things that were taught. Look at the skills that came. That was 25 kids that came to the high school, and they were pretty fundamentally sound. So I think if we make some changes, I think we got a chance to go back and generate some interest and create some skills where that would be very beneficial.
Make a motion to allow the superintendent to develop a committee to determine elementary basketball policy.
Is there a second?
Second.
Okay, it's been properly moved and seconded to allow the superintendent to form an ad hoc committee that will work through and propose a new elementary basketball policy. Is there any further discussion or amendments to that main motion?
Can you guys hear me okay?
Yeah, sure. Go ahead, Mr. Chapman.
I would definitely include the coaches that have coached in that in the last 2 or 3 years is my only thing, because they have gone through the trials and tribulations and, know what's there. But no, I'm an aye.
Okay. All right. So all in favor, say aye.
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 Any opposed? Any abstention? Motion carries. All right. Take care of that. We have no old business, and we'll move into personnel. And Dr. Minnie, we have, let me get it up there. extracurricular to start with.
Okay. Extracurricular recommendation for hire, Melissa Jones, Quiz Bowl, Academic Bowl Coach, GCHS.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, it's been properly moved and seconded to accept the extracurricular portion of the personnel agenda. Any further discussion or amendments to that main motion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. All right, and now we're on to resignations.
Resignations, Joe Frazier, head Mini Titan girls basketball coach, Gilmer County High School. Resignation, Angela Snyder, supervisory classroom transportation aide, Gilmer County Elementary School, effective 3/19/26.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, it's been properly moved and seconded to accept the superintendent's recommendations for the resignation section of the personnel agenda. Any further discussion or amendments to that main motion? All in favor, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstention? Motion carries. All right, that'll conclude personnel. And we will move to
Gate review.
a gate review. I got all sidetracked. Miss West with the gate review. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank you, man.
She has color.
Okay.
So we conducted our spring review in February, but we went to both schools. And the process includes student interviews beginning at the third grade, teacher interviews, principal interviews, classroom walkthroughs, facility walkthrough, a special ed file review, and a finance review. All interviews are based on the standards for highly effective schools. Classroom walkthroughs are the same key elements used by the principals when they do evaluative walkthroughs. But what we're doing is collected in forms in Office 365. It is not part of the teacher evaluation system. Facilities, special ed, and finance, they use a checklist to review their portion of the focus visit. And then we've invited guest teachers to walk through with an administrator just taking some notes. And that has been a wonderful experience for our teachers. They appreciate that opportunity to visit each other's facilities and to see the instruction that's taking place. That's been a very positive addition that we've made this academic year. GATE, the team, it stands for Gilmer Accountability Team for Excellence. We have a pre-visit, then we conduct our focus visit, then we come back and we analyze a lot of data, and then we create our to-do list. And so again, working to reevaluate that original GATE plan. A couple of things we plan to add in the fall is a service personnel interview and a parent interview. And I had conversation this morning with our academic coaches who help with the student and teacher interviews as to what that process would look like. So we will work over the summer, we'll get that in place, and then we'll begin in the fall to include our service personnel and our parents in our GATE process.
Fall colors.
Some focus themes for our elementary school. Just to continue sharing out via Project Connect, the great learning that's taking place, as well as utilizing an updated PLC template, which will be consistent across both of our schools. We'd like to develop a note-taking protocol that would start with upper elementary and carry on through our middle school and high school, and then also create some guidelines to support student feedback, which needs to be timely. At the high school focus themes, timely feedback, again, wanting to work with leadership team to establish a framework guidance to support that work. Consistent expectations across all classrooms with both behavior and instruction. Utilize the monitoring of that PLC template, which we will create at the ELA level and then share that out. Establish and strengthen and utilize authentic student leadership groups. Establish the note-taking protocol, and then develop a student pathways for college, career, and then pathways for career, which we would share with our parents, guardians, and students. So again, some of this is work that we really need to accomplish this summer. The Gilmer County focus themes as a district, again, the three big ones is that PLC framework, the instructional shift that we need to take, and professional development. And I gave you an image there of what those 4 questions are to kind of guide what will be guiding our work with our PLCs. As we establish that template, continue to drill down into our standards for planning and create a monitoring process that's consistent. Shifting our thinking, really working to support that all students can master the content.
That's been a constant theme from the very beginning when we first started this, is just us believing that all students can master the curriculum.
Professional development, again, focusing on that MTSS model, working with PBIS, utilizing the core curriculum, working to support co-teaching, and we've had a lot of training on that, and we saw a lot of great things happening with co-teaching in both of our schools. Ongoing walkthroughs, lesson plan feedback, and then also wanting to PLC train our teacher leaders. Good things happening in Gilmer. We like to celebrate the
Any
growth.
questions from Ms. West?
I just have my 2 cents of feedback. So Colton in 8th grade has, is it career readiness? What's it called for the 9 weeks? Something like that. I think it's Miss Ramazan. And what she's doing is sending out weekly emails, one with attendance that has, have what you've missed. I assume it's like a Weavis thing. What you've missed is if it's excused, et cetera, et cetera. And she's also sending out copies of the Weavis grade for each class. And that's really the first time I've had a teacher engage with students for 6th, 7th, and 8th grade. So I still feel like we're missing out of the parental part of academics. Because as a parent, I can only do as much as I know about. And I know I sound like a broken record because this has been a constant thing through elementary and middle, that if I don't know what's going on in the classroom, if I don't know there's a test this week, I can't make sure that my child studies for it. And I'm trying to remember last year if it was such a disjointed year in math because they had Miss Barr and then Miss McGowan. One of them was sending out weekly emails saying, we're going over lesson 5.2 and we'll be having a test on that at such and such day. And that was very helpful to me as a parent because, we're not sending home books now for a lot of, so I can't follow along in a book. And in fact, I've had to go on eBay and purchase books that they're using in the classroom so that I can try to keep up with what Colton is supposed to be doing. And not every student needs that. I mean, my girls did it themselves, but Colton is a boy and, his care meter is much lower than what my daughters were. So he doesn't check his grades every day and calculate what he needs to score to get the grade that he wants. It's more as like an afterthought to him. So he requires that parental supervision, whereas some kids may not. But I can't be a part of his academic career if I do not know what's going on. And 9 times out of 10, I have no clue what's going on in the classroom. And switching to the Weavis grades versus live grades, I think it was before, is so much more difficult to access as a parent. I've had to call Tracy. I've, had to try to sign in multiple different times. And, I'm fairly able to handle things. And if I'm getting very frustrated with it.
It's harder, there's no doubt.
Then I know lots of parents are getting frustrated with it. So that's what I felt, it was very nice that Mrs. Ramazan was emailing those screenshots to parents, because that way I didn't have to try to fight with the Weavis system just to find out what my kid's grade was. And it used to be that we would do work and have that work returned to us so that we could take it home when I was a kid. But now it's very hard to get work back from teachers even, so that the kids can see what they're doing wrong. You know, it was 3 or 4 weeks in the beginning that, you know, we didn't have anything back from teachers.
And that showed up in the gate review. The timely feedback is an issue.
You know,
That was one of the
again,
themes of the rose.
I can't help my child if I don't know what they're having trouble with. You know, I need teachers to engage with parents, you know, with all parents. And I don't know if that is just a part of Mrs. Ramazan's thing with that class, because she hasn't done it with, like, I think they had science to her, because it didn't happen then. But with this class, every week we got that email. And I mean, I'm sure it's time consuming, but you know, I would think for a teacher to send out an email to every kid in the 7th grade on a Monday morning and say, this is what the 7th grade will be doing. You know, some form of communication. And I've had a couple parents about the elementary school, about teachers letting them know when tests are. And it's just a constant battle as a parent. And I feel like we can do better on that, because, you know, parents shouldn't have to beat down the door to know what's going on in the classroom. And I realize it's a little more work, but, you know, we should all be doing everything we can to help the kids succeed. And part of that is including the parent, you know, in their education. So that's my 2 cents. Thank you.
Any other comments, questions from Ms. West? Thank you, ma'am, for your presentation. All righty, we are to the superintendent's update. Dr. Minnie.
Just wanted to give you guys an update that we received 4 days from the 180-day waiver, and this puts us back on track with instructional days and OS days, and we should be good to go to utilize our original graduation date and the end of the school year date that we had originally scheduled. RIF and transfer season's quickly approaching. We don't have a whole lot to do. Had a lot of attrition, but over this week, probably tomorrow or the next day, I'll be handing out the few letters that we have. And then probably going to do a special meeting on April, I believe that was 16th. One thing I wanted to do at this meeting, and we went to Nick Cox's kind of going away party. I wanted to just publicly in the meeting recognize Nick Cox for all the hard work. I think he had 14 years of experience here, and really tell him thank you for his service. And Gilmer County Schools going to miss him, and just wanted to thank him for all the good things that he has done there at Gilmer County High School. And my final update is for the students. I wish all the students and staff, a safe and productive, refreshing spring break. Go out and enjoy. Hopefully we get some warm weather. We've had a long, hard winter. So I just wanted to wish all the students a happy spring break, a happy Easter, and so on and so forth. That's all I've got.
Thank you, Dr. Minnie. We'll move into board member comments, and we'll start with Mr. Chapman.
I just want to echo what Dr. Minnie said about Mr. Cox. Do us proud at the state, and thank you for all your years of service.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Chapman. I had the same thing. I attended his going away party. They made me get up and speak, and right after Mrs. Butcher which was not always always the best option, because she can give a very lovely, eloquent speech, and I'm up there shaking to death, just thinking, oh, can I get this over with? But yes, thank you, Mr. Cox, for all your hard work, and congratulations in your new endeavor. Dr. Miller.
I'd like to thank Mr. Cox. Caitlin wrote a little brief letter thanking him at his going away party. He's really made a difference in a lot of kids' lives, and I hope he continues to do that at the state level. And I look forward to what new and exciting times our new FFA teacher brings us.
Same.
Okay, Mr. Martin.
Ditto on Mr. Cox. Mr. Cox, don't forget, you got a test to take, so get it done. Otherwise, most of this deals with the Career Center and our kids. The FCI Gilmer in the next 2 years will have 30 retirements that they know of. That's 30 federal jobs. No one is coming to Gilmer County from Washington, DC. They're not buying a house here. They're not living here. What's that mean? That means that's 30 high-paying jobs for Gilmer County students and adults if they get prepared to do that. In 20 years you work for the feds, in 20 years you can say goodbye, see ya, and you have retirement.
20 years.
You have good insurance, you have good benefits. So our kids, our students need to start thinking long-term about where they can be, where you can get, you don't have to have a 4-year degree to get there. An associate degree will get you prepared to do certain things. But, you don't have to be a guard. They have jobs for welders, for cooks, for custodians, the guards. There's CNAs that do perform those things. That's up Dr. Miller's husband's alley. More than I know, but
They have lab techs.
yes.
Pharmacy techs.
And I know that in the last year at the Career Center, there's 26 kids that have CNA degrees because 2 of them at least work with my mom, and I know they're going to school and they're punching in a pretty close to a 40-hour work week, 2 I know. And so there's possibilities for us. The Culinary Arts Project, which is the Foods Lab, for a better way of putting it, it's $1 million, and they will go out to bid on the 1st of April. So the Foods Lab will be getting, the kitchen will be getting a monstrous facelift, be like the meat lab kind of thing over here. It will not look anything like it is. And last weekend, some of you have seen Facebook where Calhoun put it out. There was the HASA teams. They had 3 winners. One team that was first place has 3 Gilmer County students on it. One person was from Calhoun. So, they need to be congratulated, and they did a phenomenal job. When they had the Career Center Career Day, unfortunately, our seniors already had an obligation here. They were taking a test dealing with the college, so we're going to work on communications for that. But there was over 30 schools that were present. Now, what does that mean? You say, well, I'm not necessarily going to careers. I'm going to go to a 4-year college and get an AB degree. Well, if I get the term right, it's called the Invest Grant, and there were 5 colleges that were there. And those 5 institutions, Glenville can't participate. It offers a master's degree. But Fairmont has its redheaded stepchild, which is Piedmont, which is on Fairmont's campus, so it's Fairmont. Hates me to say anything nice about a Falcon, but I will. And WVUP and 3 others. What does that mean for a kid? You could go down to the Career Center, and if you were in health occupations, we'll say, and you decide you want to be a nurse, and you go to WVUP or state or to Piedmont, then you can get your fees, and all that will be waived if you work for 2 years in West Virginia, and all you're paying is room and board wherever you're housed. Now, what's a nurse make? Well, I'll put it like this. My sister-in-law had a 2-year degree from WVUP. She made more money the first year she did than I did with 25 years experience in this business and 2 master's degrees. So there's money. You don't have to have a 4-year degree, but you do have to have the skills to get above a high school degree and be retrained when necessary. So our kids need to take advantage of the opportunities that are there, and you don't know what you're going to do. So I think that's important. And also the director is starting to work on dual credit for health and public safety. With institutions, it's not an easy thing to do. And since Glenville, like I said, offers a master's degree program, it kind of puts them kind of out because they can't deal with them, but she's trying to deal with other places where our kids could go there, take the classes, and then they would get college credit for them. So a lot of good things are happening there. Don't just think your kid's saying, well, I don't want to go because I've got to ride the bus. But it's not like it used to be. You have, since we're on the block, you got time to get down. You can do all your academics here. You can go there, become a CTE completer, and you have a valid pathway to decide. Because how many of you have changed jobs in your lifetime? I've had 4. So, and it's going to get worse as we progress. So, you know, we need get our kids all the training and all the aid and help that we can do. So that's all I got.
All righty. So I'll make a motion to recess this regular meeting until the third Tuesday in April, which will be April 21st, 2026, which will be our linkage meeting at the Calhoun-Gilmer Career Center. Is there a second?
Second.
Okay, been properly moved and seconded to recess this regular meeting until the third Tuesday in April, which is April 21st, 2026. Any further discussion or amendments? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstention? Motion carries.